moved my plant?
I had to because we were. I'll move back.
You have
You
no
can't
idea.
just start
what
moving.
just
Are you
stepped
recording?
into,
I
Noah.
hope you're recording. All right, this is who just moved another man's arrow garden.
Tomato arrow garden. Which,
No.
by the way, Vinny won at a raffle that he was performing at. It was very exciting, yes. But Vinny is very particular about these things, Noah, which you did not know about. Vinny also has a lemon tree that is growing in our kitchen. You were there that dinner, right, Noah? Were you there that dinner? Where the one lemon, the exact one lemon that grew from that tree accidentally got stuck on my sweater. And no other lemon has grown since.
You murdered my only lemon.
I did. I'm sorry.
Patty, I'm on a podcast. I'm going to call you back in 25. So I called Patty and she didn't pick up. And then she called me back. Now I'm busy. I can't. We talked about this a little bit at the last. I'm not on call for people. If Patty wants to talk to me, when I call her, no matter what she's doing, she should answer.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
The world according to Vinny.
You know, Vicki, I don't think you understand. It's not the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely my world according to me.
Right. Well, it's funny because Peter and Noah don't know this, and we are going to go over the topics that Peter picked today. However, what they don't know is that Vinny got in an argument with a 15-year-old on Saturday, and it was super fun. Yeah. Vinny got in a big argument. Would you like to tell everyone why you got in a big argument with a 15-year-old?
I will absolutely tell everybody why. We were in a basketball game.
Right.
Of our 11-year-old daughter's basketball game. And it was a very heated game. You have these games. They're very exciting. I
just want to pause you right there. Again, an 11-year-old basketball game. 11.
If it wasn't serious, there wouldn't be refs, coaches, and fans and players. It's serious. This isn't some pickup game. This is an 11-year-old's basketball. And obviously everyone there. Now, I'm not taking the game too seriously, right?
No, not you.
No, but they're paying two kids to keep the scoreboard, and the one girl, at 15 years old, on her cell phone or whatever she was doing.
I will give you that it was not a high-scoring game, but again, she's a child. Go on.
She's not a child.
She is a child.
No.
Go on.
At 15, you are a young adult.
She could have been even 14, Vinny. We don't know.
She was 15, and
You don't know that she was 14.
We're going to move forward. Let's move this forward. Now,
saying.
It was a 5-0 game late in the fourth quarter. And one of our girls scored a basket.
Yeah.
And she did not reflect the score. So we said, pardon me, scorekeeper, Kate. Kate said, hey, scorekeeper, you missed the basket. The girl then put up 1 point.
Right, but Kate said, hey, scorekeeper, and then you kept saying, keep.
All right.
Scorekeeper. We were literally like 5 feet away from her.
Okay, but she didn't do it. She was busy doing whatever else she was doing.
Well, it might have taken her a second to process what you were saying.
Come on, Vicki. It was way more than a second. And the reason she couldn't process is she was on the TikTok or whatever. All right?
I don't think she was. She was just sitting there.
She was just sitting there with her thumb not hitting the score thing. Who knows where her thumb was, but it wasn't hitting the score thing. I keep my thumbs busy at all times. And when they're not busy, I keep them warm.
All right, keep
going. And I think
going.
she was keeping her thumb warm.
Let's go how you got in a fight with a child.
I said, Kate Bird's supposed to be 7. And she goes, okay, I got it. Snotty as all out. To which I just said, okay, do your job.
Yeah, that was super fun. Super fun. Arguing with a teenager.
Okay, can I ask you a question? At 15 years old.
Who's in 8th or 9th grade at best.
15, you're in
8th grade. No, 5th grade. 15, you're a freshman in high school, Goofy.
Let's unpack this.
Let's unpack it.
How would
you are an adult? It doesn't matter. You don't argue with a child.
I didn't argue.
No, and then him and Kate were literally 5 feet from the kid. You and Kate now are batting back about how incredibly rude she was.
She was rude.
It doesn't matter. She's still a child.
What I said that day, and I said it loud enough for her to hear it, and I meant for her to hear it, if I spoke to an adult like that at 15 years old, my father would have put his foot in my ass. Not up, in. He would have inserted his. I would have had a bubble in my head. Listen, this is an issue, and this is the problem we have.
Do you think possibly she thought you were being rude to her?
Pardon?
Do you think she was possibly thinking you were rude to her?
Me saying, here's in your world. You ready? Hi, I know you're getting paid $20 to do this, and I know you want the job, and you beat out 7 other 15-year-old kids. But if you wouldn't mind, if you could actually then do the job you begged for. Listen, all I said was it should be 7. And she turned around and got nasty. Was she nasty?
She was very curt. She was very rude.
Who was nasty first?
I just think that the way that you and Kate were going, keep her.
Vic, if we didn't say anything, would she have changed the score?
No, but
Okay.
you definitely had to say something.
So something had to be said.
But what I'm saying is that, and she was very rude, but then I don't need my 61-year-old husband fighting with a 14 or a 15-year-old. I just don't need it.
All right. Let me tell you.
And then I feel like Kate eggs you on because she thinks it's funny.
No, Kate.
Like I think she eggs you on because she thinks it's funny.
Kate knows right and wrong.
No,
I
think she thinks it's funny.
No, the people in my orbit know they can count on me to make things right. Now, let me tell you something. If the girl turned around and said, "Oh gosh, sir, I'm so sorry. You're right," I would have said, "When you are old enough, you come see me for a job." Now, that little wench can never get a job with me.
Oh my God, I'm embarrassed you just said that.
All right, that little person. Okay, that little person. How would you? Okay,
you have no idea too. So we're sitting there. I'm yelling at him, and now I'm also grabbing his hand and arm at the same time. Like, and it's funny because I never had to do that to our children when they were growing up.
Hopefully they'll turn out. And
I've never had to do that to our kids. The only thing I've ever had to do to our kids when they spoke out of line or I thought they were being fresh is I gave them one quick look. They know it. They get a quick look and they say, stop.
Okay.
Mom doesn't like that. But I can't do a quick look with you. Quick look doesn't work with you. I practically have to fucking attack you.
No, if I were wrong.
Oh my God. If you were wrong.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Let's put your daughter at that scoreboard reacting and talking the same way to an adult. What do you say to her?
I would still be very angry that an adult talked back that way.
No. What would you say to your daughter?
Okay, first of all.
See, no, she's started.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's not your child. You're not the police of other people's children.
Vicky.
It doesn't matter. You didn't have to do it. No. No.
I'm going to say 3 things to you.
Oh, my God.
4 simple words.
What?
It takes a village.
You're not part of that kid's village. You don't even know that kid. You're not part of the village. The understanding is you know that child.
No.
Oh, my God.
I am, in my own way, trying to help that child. Now, a father came over and was talking to the boy. What you really don't know is I was ready to say to him, "Hey, tell your kid not to be snotty." All right, because if the kid,
my God, I would have just moved seats at that point. I just would have moved seats at that point.
What would you have done if Tabby or Maddie or Cassie?
It doesn't matter.
Okay,
they're my children.
Entertain me.
First of all,
entertain the question. What would you say?
This is what I would have done if I was there.
Okay, go.
I'm going to give you 2 parts. If I was there, first I would have reprimanded my child for speaking that way. Then I would have turned to the grown adult and ripped them a new one for speaking that way.
For saying do your job?
No, it was rude, Vinny. It was unnecessary and rude.
Okay, so you're telling me that if your daughter was rude to some upstanding, well-respected businessman, a stalwart of the community, a community pillar, your daughter was rude to a pillar of the community, you would be upset if the pillar of the community, the man who has helped lead countless children to a more productive position in their lives, and that's true, that's true, you would be mad at the guy for saying that's rude.
Yes.
Well, let me tell you something.
Well,
you should do your job.
Okay. Well, I just want to point out, too, so Peter and Noah, you don't know this, so Cassie had a birthday party. There was a little boy in the pool that wouldn't get out. He has a serious listening problem. Oh. He's in her class, so I invited him. He wouldn't get out of the pool. He was splashing everyone. I had reprimanded him a few times. But when you're policing other people's children, you keep an even tone. This one, comes out, not even part of the birthday party.
Oh my God, I was so part of that moment.
Oh, you come out. You see me, ask the child to get out. I'm not going to say what his name is. Let's say his name is
Peter.
Neil. Oh, Peter. Oh,
Peter.
we'll use Peter as an
I
example.
want someone who I can mentally picture as an equivalent child.
Right. To which he screams from our back deck down to the pool, Peter, Mrs. Brand already asked you to get out of the pool. Get out of the pool. You don't, I don't have to ask you twice. Get out of the pool. To which I then say to you in a quiet tone, Vinnie, stop it. You don't yell at other people's children. To which, what does Vinnie turn to this 10-year-old and say? Great. Thanks, Peter. Now Mrs. Brand is mad at me. Yeah.
Peter.
Yeah. Super fun.
Peter should know the ramifications of his actions. It all rolled downhill.
Yeah.
It was a lava flow, and my feet got burned.
Literally said that to a 10-year-old. Thanks, Peter. Mrs. Brand is mad at me now.
Do you know how many people are going to watch this video and send their kids this summer to Camp Vinnie? Camp Vinnie. Your kids will come back doing the right stuff. Now, this all brings me to a topic that's not on our list here today.
Right.
But it's so natural. I'm going to take us there. So we know that the kid was 10 years old. And really what was happening at that moment, just to refresh your memory, is he was squirting a water pistol at your daughter's birthday cake.
No, our daughter's birthday cake was all the way up on the deck.
He was hitting the deck. That's what I said. Put the pistol down and get out of the pool. Because you had already asked him 3 times. And Peter has listening problems because his father doesn't know how to say, Peter, get out of the goddamn pool. Your mother asked you twice. All right. So now maybe Peter has some understanding. Which, by the way, are all the kids polite to me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the majority of the children are just polite children.
Okay. Granted, but what about the ones that are rude? What about the kid I had to grab years ago walking by me into my house? I had to grab him and yank him back and say, I'm Mr. Brand. You say hello to me when you come to my home.
Yeah, that's super fun when you do stuff like that.
Yeah, but you know what happened? In that particular instance, we're having a party for the kids. A kid's getting dropped off. I stick my hand out, hey, I'm Mr. Brand, and he stormed by me, head down. His father's turning the car around in the driveway. I reached back, I grabbed him, pulled him forward and said, hey, I'm Mr. Brand. When you come in my house, you say hello. The father rolled the window down and said, what's going on here? I said, your son's rude. He didn't say hello to me.
Yeah, even he does.
And then I said to the father, he can say hello or get back in the car. And what did the father do? The right thing. He said, say hello to Mr. Brand.
That was one of Tabby's friends, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And the father, everybody took a little bit of medicine that day and said, there is a better way to be. Everybody just took a little castor oil.
Except, you know what'd be really funny, Vinnie? You know what would be really funny?
What?
If you were turning the car around and you saw somebody holding the back of one of your children, you would have flown out that car like
no one touches my children.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody touches my children.
You would have flipped out.
I'm not saying that I would appreciate me. I'm saying that other people do. Okay? I wouldn't necessarily. But let's get into where this 15-year-old scorekeeper with her attitude. Let's get into what Newark, New Jersey just did. Find the graphic. Newark, New Jersey, all of New Jersey, under a ridiculous plan. How old do you have to be now in Newark, New Jersey to vote in a primary?
They did not.
How old do you have to be?
Did they do 17?
Oh, no, Vicki. 17? These people are almost collecting Social Security at 17. What's the age now? Have you found it, Peter? Have you found it?
16 years old.
16.
Shut up.
Yes. Yes. 16. That's what you and people like you are delivering to the country.
I'm not. Don't point at me.
Huh?
Don't point at me.
You don't want to yell at the 15-year-old scorekeeper who's almost old enough to vote? This is craziness. And you know who's doing this? The Democrats are doing this. The Democrats. Because a 16-year-old is watching TikTok going, oh my God. And they're getting their education from TikTok. And now they're voting.
They do. They watch TikTok all the time for everything. I just said to one of our children something, and she said, oh, I watch my video on TikTok. They watch everything on TikTok.
Do you understand what's happening here? What's happening here?
16 years old.
16.
That's insane.
And they want to make it 17. At 17, I have watched I watched a 17-year-old kid. We didn't watch it, but it happened. At our club, stood up in the bed of a pickup truck in the parking garage while his friend, he took his head off. That kid's allowed to vote. And this is a plan by the left to influence elections. It is so evil. This is evil. And listen, I'm not left or right. I don't care. A 16-year-old kid. A 16-year-old kid.
That's bananas.
That's bananas.
But they're not okay. So let me get this straight. You can't buy cigarettes.
Nope.
You can't drink.
Nope. You can smoke pot.
At 16, I don't think you can.
Oh,
you
you're
have to
right.
be 18.
I apologize. You're right.
Right.
But they will not pull you over or check. So while you can't smoke pot, they're not allowed to check. This is why.
Wow.
Like, when you look at Trump winning the Iowa caucus,
which is crazy.
The people of Iowa are saying, we might know that he's chaotic. I'll say it as nicely as I can, that he's chaotic. But we would rather that chaos. Look what's happening in New York City with the what do they call them now? The asylum seekers. They're closing schools. Schools are going virtual to house people. Kathy Hochul, what did she say?
She told New Yorkers to open your homes.
Yeah.
Open your homes to perfect strangers.
Yeah. Let's get one thing straight. There's no way in the world Kathy Hochul is opening her home to...
No.
Okay, now, you know me. I'm for legal immigration. I'm for the right to become a citizen. I'm for free voting. I'm for women voting. I'm for all...
For women voting.
Don't tempt me. Don't make me reverse course on that. But it's crazy. And this all goes back to that 15-year-old kid saying, I know. It's the same thing. That's the wellspring of my anger. That 15-year-old child having the audacity to talk to an adult that way, it's in my opinion, in my estimation, it's symbolic of the overall slipping, right? When I was a young kid, it was a Sunday night at dusk. Jeff Campbell and I were walking the 200 yards from my house to his house. And Officer Perkins in Middletown pulled his squad car up to us. He said, where are you two going? It was during the Halloween-ish season. What are you two doing? I said, we're going to my buddy's house. It lives right there. And he said, well, get there. And I went home later that night and told my father. And you know what my father said to me? Well, he's protecting the neighborhood. Not, I'm going to call Chief McCarthy and blah, 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 blah. Shut up. The cop told you get where you had to be, because there was a curfew. I wasn't arrested. I wasn't harassed. I was told, get inside. If the curfew's hitting, get inside. And I see the whole thing sliding into this abyss of bullshit. And this absolute... Now, Wall Street Journal last week, big article, prolonged marijuana use is causing paranoia. Okay. Noah, of course, was already worried about that. And, okay, well, of course that's what it's going to cause. It's a drug.
Right.
What else do you do? I mean, so to me, you know, what I did with the 15-year-old, it falls in line with great moments in American history.
You're just trying to validate why you did it right now.
Vicki?
Really, we took this long ride right now listening to all your validations now. And it's a ride around.
Let me just say one thing here, Vicki.
Uh-huh.
All that has to happen for evil to prevail is that good men do nothing.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You know what? And you know I don't like to take the Lord's name in vain, but for Christ's sake.
Who said that, by the way? Who said all that has to happen for evil to prevail is for good men to do nothing? I'm going to give me a hint on the time frame, and I'll tell you who said it. So, Vicki.
But I do want to get, Peter picked out some really interesting stories here.
He did.
So the first.
Can I say them before?
Yeah.
Many, many times we look at Peter's stories and say, this is shit. But today.
Right. Well, a lot of times Peter will pick something so controversial that it's bad for business. And I'm like, what is he thinking? Are you trying to put us out of business?
It's unbelievable.
You're trying to,
Peter's
Get us
like
canceled? Thanks, Peter.
a would-be shock jock.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about is I did not see this, but the Carolina Panthers owner, he's a hedge fund manager too, David Tepper, tossed a drink from his open-air suite into the crowd at a fan at a rival Jackson Jaguars fan. But I just want to point out that in Peter's notes, while a lot of people are up in arms in it, Peter thinks it's a very human moment to be in an open-air luxury suite and get so mad that your multi-million-dollar team is losing and you're a hedge fund manager. You just take a drink. You don't care who you hit. And you just wallop one. And that's a human moment, Peter.
If David Tepper.
Humanizing.
Yes, humanizing.
If David Tepper
Yeah.
were in my orbit, I would straighten that out.
Oh, I'm sure you would.
I would straighten that out. But here's what I think about David Tepper. Now, you know he's a former New Jersey resident, right?
I know nothing about him.
David Tepper was a former New Jersey resident. He was the richest New Jersey resident. Made his money in hedge funds. I forget which one. I'll get it in a second. Tepper Funds. And he moved out of the state because of the income tax.
Oh, I read an article about him.
Yes. And
He had a multi-million-dollar home up in North Jersey, correct?
He had yes, that's correct. And he sold that.
Yeah.
And I think he moved to Florida.
It was Appaloosa Management. Was the name.
I'm sorry?
Appaloosa Management.
Right. And here's the thing about, do you have the video of that, by the way?
Yes.
Let's take a look. Here's David Tepper. Here he is. Let's see it.
There's a comment.
We're following from the world of the Panthers today. Team owner David Tepper in hot water tonight after he was seen throwing a drink on Jaguars fans during Jacksonville shutout win over Carolina. Tepper was caught on video dumping the contents of a cup from his suite in Jacksonville Stadium, throwing the cup down and then storming away. It's not immediately clear what was in the cup. We have reached out to the Panthers for a comment.
Oh, that's what it was?
I didn't see it.
It's so fast.
Yeah.
Look.
David Tepper in hot water tonight after he was seen throwing a drink.
Can we replay it?
During Jacksonville shutout win over the world of the. All right, we want to turn now to some breaking news we're following from the world of the Panthers today.
It's very anticlimactic for me the way it happened.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. They fined him $300,000 for that. And it's clearly intentional.
It is, but I thought that it was like him standing right there on the edge, like whipping it at somebody, really just pegging them. But I mean, you get a little vodka on you, who cares?
Yeah, well, especially at an NFL game, you're lucky it's not puke. But what I'm going to tell you about this is, listen, if you're a billionaire, a multi-billionaire, in the pamphlet they give you when you become a multi-billionaire is that you have more rights than other people.
That's
true.
true.
So for $300,000, you can just go ahead and Ray David.
We know this because we're watching Succession right now. So
Exactly.
we know what they can do.
Exactly. He could have murdered that guy. And they're like, oh, David Tepper in hot water today for murdering a Jacksonville Jaguar fan. I think you said Jacksonville.
Did I say Jacksonville? I don't know.
But listen, it looks to me like that was an intentional dousing. So I'm going to guess because it's an open air thing there. But I think the problem here is it's 4 feet, but it looks like he is intentionally dousing someone. And my guess is that group of fans was giving him what they call the business during the game.
Probably giving them the business, but I mean, at that point, they're not even getting that much.
Okay, Vicki, I get the fact that you think David Tepper's completely innocent here.
I'm just saying.
And I thought I was going to be, what's the word I want?
You thought I would be saying David Tepper's so wrong, and
right,
yeah, okay.
Right. And really, what's happening here is Vicki's going, yeah, money does come with privileges, and
well, no, because it's 4 feet. It's not as if when I read this story and I hadn't seen the video, I thought it was going to be him like at the edge, throwing a drink, like taking his, taking this and just whipping it.
You're 100% right about a lot of things. And okay, I saw the video today, Noah, this morning. Sorry.
See, it's not even that big of a deal.
No, I'm assuming now. If Mrs. Chase sees that. Mrs. Chase sees that. She'll have HR on the department. No, you didn't get
But
too wet,
it's
did
like
you?
a sprinkling on the back. That's
I
all
know.
it is.
No.
A sprinkling.
Listen, all kidding aside, right? It really is true. If they're rich, get away with everything.
No, they do. They do.
They get away with everything.
They do.
And $300,000 fine. People say that's nothing. It is nothing, but it probably still annoyed him to pay it.
But it's like us with a parking ticket. Like when you're gambling, like if you're going to get a parking ticket, like, I'm really late for something that I paid $100 for. Let me gamble getting a $20 parking ticket.
Yeah, I think $300,000 might be even relatively less.
You think so?
$300,000 to Tepper's probably worth, what's Tepper worth, $5 billion? I mean, $300,000. By the time the water dried,
20 billion is worth.
Hey, what?
20 billion.
20 billion.
Yes.
Vicki, by the time that liquid dried on the guy, Tepper made more money in interest income. I mean, as the fluid was going through the air, and 100,000, 200,000, $20 billion. What is $300,000 as a percentage to 20 billion? Google that. I'm going to say it's 0.0006. 0.0006.
So it's 0.16%.
No, it's not.
Okay.
0.1.
0.016.
No, it's way less than that. Yeah, whatever it is, David Tepper can afford it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think it's wrong, though. I mean, it's a shitty look. Listen, you're a billionaire. It's a shitty look.
Oh, it definitely is. It's not a good look. I'm not saying it is a good look. I'm not saying that at all. But I do think that it's probably getting blown out of proportion.
I do, too, because they were probably giving him a very hard ride.
Yeah.
Probably giving him a very hard ride.
Yeah.
And let's get into this next story about Steamboat Willie. Does that interest you at all?
Yes. No, it does. I mean, this is Disney.
This is Disney.
This is Disney. So Steamboat Willie was the original Mickey Mouse,
Yep.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
And now,
Actually, it was the second iteration, I believe.
oh, is it really?
I believe so. Steamboat Willie may have been the second, may have been the third. Look that up. How many iterations in was Steamboat Willie? I believe he's at least the second.
So, but when you go to check in at Walt Disney World, they show all of those
Yes.
old cartoons. And, I don't think that there's just music, right? There's no,
There are no talkies.
no talkies. Yeah. So now that it's been 95 years, the licensing is up. Right?
I don't agree with that, by the way.
I don't agree with that either.
That to me, so, like a different but similar example is musicians like Paul McCartney having to bid on his own music at one point against Michael Jackson, and Michael Jackson screwing him over royally and taking the music license away. So Paul McCartney had to pay Michael Jackson's estate to sing Let It Be, for example. And so in this case here, it seems to me that Disney has kept that legacy alive. They should own it, even Steamboat Willie, forever. And what didn't occur to me is, so that means at some point, good old regular Mickey Mouse will become part of the public domain.
Yeah.
I find that
It's very upsetting because now people are trying to capitalize off of it and make it into a horror movie and a video game.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like that's such a bad thing for Disney and the kids. Regardless of what you think about like Disney Park and everything else, regardless of that, Disney on a whole has been such a staple in children's lives for so long.
So long.
That, I don't know, it just seems terrible. Now, apparently last year, Winnie the Pooh expired, and that was written by, what was that guy's name?
A. Milne.
Okay, thank you. And
What don't I know?
I know, really, your memory is crazy. And Winnie the Pooh and Blood and Honey, which was a horror movie.
Right.
So they have the trailer for it. So can we see it? Oh, it's 2 minutes long. I'm not going to watch the whole thing. Oh,
You know, you're the first person I ever shown this place to.
And why am I so
I feel like they're
special?
also ripping
Soon
off
will be Christopher
the
and
vampire
Lily.
movies
You should
with
be close
Stephanie
now.
Meyer, Twilight.
We're not going to find them.
We will. Pooh, Piglet, Eeyore, we were friends for many years, and they're out there.
Christopher, we need to leave. Now.
I really need to find out what's happened here, okay?
Oh. Okay. Now, hold on. I want to show you.
Yeah, probably. We can't watch all.
Yeah, but I want to show you
And
somebody
it
else
was
did a
Jacksonville.
ripoff of this.
Wow, I forgot. I forgot.
I did too. It's been so many years.
That's menacing. This is great. That is tremendous. I had forgotten all about this.
Yeah.
Elle avait sous sa toque de martre.
I can't remember what
sur
class
Oh
this
my
was
God,
for.
what a great. This is better than the other
Un
one.
petit air innocent.
I love that.
On l'appelait Rose, elle était belle. Elle sentait bon la fleur nouvelle. Rue Saint-Vincent.
I think that. I tip my hat. I forgot.
I totally forgot too when Peter brought it up. I really did forget that Madison did this.
Admirer chez sa
Did she
vieille
have that
aïeule. Ou casser
I think
un
she
comme
did.
ça toute
That is
seule.
Yeah,
excellent.
I think she did.
Saint-Vincent a travaillé déjà pour vivre et les soirs de givre
That is
sous le
absolutely
froid
excellent.
noir
And I'll tell you something.
glaçant.
I changed my entire position on copyrights. They should expire immediately so that my daughter can do it. I forgot about that.
I did too. How did you know about that, Peter?
She's told us about it before.
Oh,
She
she-
brought it to the club one day and showed us all.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, it was.
It's
it
so
was
good.
really
Yeah.
I love the French music that kicks in at the end. It's
Yeah.
very artistic.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something? This is the year we have to start doing more sketches and everything else. That is really good. Now, did that come out when Blood and Honey came out?
No.
She did it first.
Maddie did that in high school, Vinny.
When did Blood and Honey come out?
Last year.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Maddie did that in high school, hun. She's
That-
like, Maddie was like 16 or 17 there.
We should sue the shit out of the people because
Yeah.
Maddie's intellectual property rights have not expired. We should sue Blood and Honey. I'm suing you, you son of a bitch. No one does anything rude to my children. Let me tell you something right now. If my kid does something, it's okay. My kid's keeping score in a basketball game. You keep your comments to yourself. Stay where you are. Listen to me. I am livid. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Did Maddie know that property rights expired, or she just did that?
She just did it. She didn't
Wow.
care. Because we
Blown
had
away.
we had the costumes at our house.
And you made us give them away.
I sold them for $10 each.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Memorabilia. It could have been worth millions.
Memorabilia.
Could have been worth millions.
Memorabilia.
All right. So listen, Vicki, this is a great podcast. I enjoyed this one. Anything else you want to go over?
Yeah, the only other thing that I really wanted to talk about, I think this is really interesting, is
Oh yeah. Interesting in a way, like the end is near interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is about a guy in France who went from like a normal looking person into a literal alien.
Well, his name is his name Black Alien?
Yeah, now he changed his name to the Black Alien.
And at this point, his body modifications have included a finger amputated, the removal of ears and parts of his nose and lips, skull implants, removal of parts of his dermis, the removal of his scalp, and ink injections and other membrane of his eyeballs. Still with all this, Lafredo considered his transformation to be 65%. He's part of a community called Extreme Body Modifiers.
But don't you think it's crazy that doctors would allow this?
The what?
That you go to a doctor and you say, I want to become an alien. Like,
Yes.
I would be like, okay, cuckoo, like, come over to the mental ward with me.
Well, you're on my page now. I have said forever, we need mental institutions.
He needs some serious help. And now he's stopping because he can't get an Uber driver and restaurants won't allow him in, correct?
Yeah, he said that it's made such an impact on his life for the negative that he didn't anticipate somehow.
What?
He what?
He didn't anticipate the negative.
Well, this is the whole thing, right? the whole thing. And I am going to start in 24 a educational, informational, inspirational video series for young people because we're so lost. And this notion that you should be accepted. Listen, yes, you should be accepted, but you should not be expecting that someone hire you or entertain you or want them in your orbit. If your daughter came home with him, I am telling you,
I would kidnap my daughter.
Immediate physical violence would occur.
No,
Immediate.
I would
I would violently hurt this human.
I would kidnap my daughter. Because to me, this person would kill my daughter at some point.
Because this is something deeply troubling wrong. Which, by the way, okay, this guy went a couple steps further. He went a couple steps further.
Yeah.
Then there was a girl in the club the other day. God bless her. You want to do it, do it. Neck tattoos, face tattoos, metal everywhere. All right. Don't expect me to give you a car loan. I mean, you have your priorities wrong. But you see, because we're so afraid to say anything to anybody, there's no check and balance. There's nobody saying, hey, what are you doing? What the hell? Okay, if this is where...
First of all, if somebody came like that into the club, there wouldn't be nobody to say anything because Mr. I can't control my filter would be the first person saying to, what the hell's the matter with you? You're not allowed here.
I would maybe let him in if he was a civil human being, but I would not let him near other people. I wouldn't deny him service, but I'd make him sit off by himself in the freak show section because I don't want to deny people service. I would, however...
I don't think I would let him in. It'd be too creepy. It'd be too creepy.
See, you're unaccepting. I'm accepting, but corrective in nature. You are unaccepting, and you're just, so we're sold out. Meanwhile, we can't pay the bills. Listen.
Did I ever tell you what happened? I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, it was 2 years ago. Someone came in, and I was positive it was a homeless person because they had like a lot of bags, and they had things hanging, and they're checking in at the door. And who did I send over there? I can't remember if I sent over Derek, but I was like, that person's homeless. Go look at them checking in. Like they're here for the show. Person wasn't homeless. It was a paid customer with a ticket that just appeared homeless. And I will agree that I was prejudging, but they also smelled like piss.
Listen,
So
I respect a homeless person who collects enough money and wisely spends it on a ticket for our establishment. I denied someone services Sunday night.
You did?
I did.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
Well, we haven't really had a chance to talk about that, but there was a couple coming down the driveway. It was late in the evening, but the show had not begun yet. Noah was at the door, so I knew we had to a sieve at the front door. Some simp, sieve, same thing. And no, I don't think you would have, because this required a owner's intervention. Because I think everyone else would have let him in. You would not have. But we're walking down the driveway, and he's with a girl, and he goes, "Hi, are you going to buy me a ticket?" And I said, "No, I'm not going to buy you a ticket." Because I knew immediately he was drunk. And he had a vape pen with him. And he goes, "We want to go in and see the show. How do I know the show's any good?" I said, "Because everyone here is good." And he goes, "Well, I want you to buy me a ticket." And I said, "Well, I assure you I'm not buying you a ticket."
Yeah, at that point, I would know something was
But
off,
then he
and
said,
I would have
"Well,
said we
I'll
were
buy a
sold
ticket."
out.
He goes, "I'll buy a ticket." And I said, "Well, just know that you will not be served in there." And he goes, "What?" And he's drunk and he's lilty and, he's very all over the map. And I said, "You will not be served." And he goes, "Why?" I said, "Because you're already drunk." And he goes, "You don't even know how drunk I can get." And I go, "I know how drunk you're not going to get." And he goes, "I'm going to go in and I'm going to order a drink." I said, "You will absolutely not be served in that establishment. And you absolutely will buy a ticket if you want one. And you will absolutely behave yourself." And he goes, "I'm not coming here." And he turned around and I'm like, "All right, mission accomplished." But
But don't you think that this guy would serve as a distraction? You
Yes.
have to put this picture up. I would think that he would serve as a big distraction to others, because I feel like even if he wasn't a violent person, he looks very violent. And
he does.
He does. And he looks very menacing.
Menacing is the right
He looks
word.
very menacing.
Yes.
And to have like someone like that sitting in the back of the club with the
Yes.
lights dim, and you go into the bathroom, I think like someone could have a heart attack walking by.
I agree. I do want to tell you that I'm going to reach out to his Instagram and see if he'll come to a personal appearance
What?
in the tent. And because I think all the freaks would come pay and see him. I'm going to
Really?
reach out.
Really? So maybe, it's between him and the Jersey Shore guys.
Well, they're not that different.
Really?
The situation. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. If I can book him, can I book him on a Monday?
I think that I would have bad dreams about him.
Okay, you don't have to come in. We'll have heavy security. We'll
Yeah.
book him. I'll bet he sells out. It'll be a freak show, but you're on to all freak shows.
Uh-huh.
But I'll bet you we can sell tickets for him, and I'll bet you his VIP tickets go first. I'll bet you if we put up $50 VIP, that'd be gone in a heartbeat.
There's a whole community of people that dress like babies and act like babies. And
How do you not see? How do you not see how desperately the world needs
well,
me?
also, so there's this young woman who has the right to vote, who dresses as a baby
Oh my
and
gosh.
spends all of her money on nappies, which is the British equivalent of a diaper.
Does she go to the bathroom in her pants? She must.
She must if she wears a diaper. And she's a grown woman, no, mid-20s. But what baffles me is how these people support the lifestyles. Like the guy in that dog suit, the Japanese guy in that $20,000 dog suit, nobody knows that he's in that dog suit.
He gets out of the suit. Eventually, at the end of the day, he goes to work.
At the end of the day, right, you're walking as a dog. No one knows it's you. But you're putting your face as a baby,
Right.
wearing baby clothes. Like, how are you making a living?
All right, let me ask you something. I'm being serious. I'm not being
Yeah.
funny. If I were able to straighten out the world, this wouldn't happen. The diaper thing wouldn't happen. The furry thing wouldn't happen.
Mm-mm.
This shit wouldn't happen.
No.
Now, I'm being dead serious. And
I
I'm
know
asking
you
all
are.
three of you, it's just a simple yes or no.
Exhausting.
If I ran the world, I mean, ran the world in this regard, just this regard, we'll start with Peter, would the world be better if I had my way and people conducted themselves and comported themselves in a manner consistent with my standards? Would the world be better or not?
Yes or no answer?
Yes or no?
No.
You're an asshole. Noah?
I'll say yes.
Yeah, thank you, Noah. Thank you, Vicki.
Noah's just saying yes because you were upset about that video earlier. That's the only reason why Noah's saying upset. I
Noah?
don't believe it for a second. This is like Succession where everybody tells them they're behind Pierce, but it's really not true.
Yes or no?
Hell no.
Oh, you're so wrong.
No, and you know why? Because you're too black and white. You are too black and white.
No, it would totally function better. Totally function better. It's not even close. It's not even close. It would totally function better. Please. All the lunatics would be locked up and getting services in an asylum. And if you were providing services, you have to actually do your goddamn job. And if you didn't, we'd lock you up too. We'd stick you right in there with the inmates. I'm telling you, it would be better, dramatically better. No one would be drunk. No one would be smoking pot. No one would be rude. The roads would function better. There'd be no need for cops. It would be amazing. Amazing.
It would be like the book The Giver, where everything was the same.
Never even read it, but I'm starting to like it. I'm going to read the book now because I think they read it about me. I'm just telling you, it would be incredible. Could you imagine? Could you imagine not needing police? Not needing police because everyone was doing what I told them to do. Just conducting themselves properly. Conducting themselves with empathy and consideration for everyone except these freaks here. Okay? It would be amazing. I'm not even being funny. It would be incredible.
Okay. Well, on that note, thank you very much for tuning in.
Oh, my God.
All right. Bye.
Please share this video. And please, if you think the world would be better with me running it, just drop me a line on my cell phone, 908-601-6976. Let me tell you something.
Don't you dare give out my phone number.
I won't. But that's the difference between a leader and a coward. Let me tell you something. Okay, Donald Trump's phone number is not out there. Joe Biden's phone number is not out there. But my phone number is out there because you can call me. You could call me and say, my 15-year-old is going astray. I'm going to send him to your house.
Yeah, you better call him because he doesn't return texts.
Well, I got to say, Vicki, that's the first time you've made me laugh in many years.
Oh, fuck you.
All right, that's our show for today.
Bye.
I love you, Vic.